Hi guys, it's me, Kathy. Mrs. Handy, are you? I hope everybody's doing really good today. And I hope my sound was better on my last video. I've been using this new microphone setup that's like wireless. And so I hope it's better. This is microphone number 6. So we're really trying. And I know some people can hear me and some can't. So I don't really understand what's been going on, but I am speaking up, believe it or not. So anyway, hope everything's, sounding okay for you. Because it's frustrating. I know it's frustrating when you can't hear, believe me. I know it's hard. So I'm not complaining about you guys saying stuff. So anyway, so from what I understand, on January 11th, Tucker Carlson, sounds like it was a tweet, I don't think it was Telegram, I think he's probably still on Twitter. He said Michael Jackson is playing Nancy Pelosi. Okay? Now, I think earlier Joan Rivers was playing Nancy Pelosi, but who knows, right? It just, what I'm thinking. So anyway, Michael Jackson playing a white woman, it's hysterical, but he was in a CLOUSEAU video in like a fat woman suit, with Prince, and they were both in like big woman, I shouldn't say fat, but anyway, shouldn't fat shame, I'm sorry, I hate that politically correct stuff, but anyway, they were in a CLOUSEAU video, and I'm pretty sure there's only 11 videos, so you can find it pretty easy. Just look for MJ. I think it probably says Prince too. And it certainly doesn't look like them, but you can tell they're in costume because they're walking funny, and the extra bits on them they're not walking correctly for how their body is. Do you know what I'm saying? They're acting funny, they're walking funny. And obviously you can look like anybody in a Hollywood kind of costume. You can look like the other sex, you could look like whatever. You can look like a monster, for heaven's sakes, so, anyway. So I heard that from Janine, you know, I don't know how to say Janine's name, Marigold, Marigeault. That's how you spell it. I don't know how to say it. Anyway, so Janine was on with Catherine Edwards, and she said, yeah, it was Nancy Pelosi. And I was like, whoa, that's so exciting. And I mean, it was Michael Jackson playing Nancy Pelosi, So I decided on my own, I do my own way of figuring things out. I use gematria, whatever. And so I decided to try in gematrix.org. I thought I would do this. Michael is Nancy, which is kind of funny. So it was 136. It equals currently. I thought that was neat because, okay, for the moment, he's playing Nancy. That could be what it means, right? Currently. And Great Awakening, like, I'm here, I'm not gone. Super moon, which, that's like a big, huge full moon that looks absolutely huge, extra big compared to normal full moon. But it also makes me think of moonwalking. A Star is Born. Let's see. It's artificial. So Michael is Nancy equals it's artificial. It equals time to play. I can't believe it. Good and bad paradigm. Remember, MJ has a song called I'm Bad, or it's called Bad. I'm Bad. I know the song by heart, but can't remember exactly the title. So, and We Can't Stop, and he's got the song Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, right? We Can't Stop. So I think he is. I'm sorry, Rosie's all over the place. Uh, she's feeling better, as I told you last time. So it's awesome. She's still taking medicine and all that, but she's doing good. Say hi. She doesn't ever look up. There she is. Oh, she grunts. Okay, sorry, honey. Okay, you sit down. So that's pretty cool about MJ and Nancy Pelosi. So then I did MJ is NP, and that equals 81. It equals Mr. and Mrs., like a man and a woman. It equals King Decoded. Remember, he's the king of pop. It equals The Wall. And Michael Jackson has the album The Wall. Living Life Off the Wall, the whole song. Then we have a lot of things that, it's kind of odd, but it's Black Pope, but it has black in there. Back to Black, Black Heart, Malcolm X. So all those just lead you to believe, okay, we're talking about somebody who's black. We, let's see, decouple, like two people, it's two people, and at some point they will decouple. Reveal me, big reveal. Let's see. High heels, and Nancy always was in high heels, like tottering around, in high heels. And, yeah, high heels. And expired. So that was I think that was really cool, especially the wall and all that, decouple and high heels. I thought that was really cool. I'm sorry about Rosie. You guys, if you hate cats, I'm not the one for you. I'm really not. And I know some people have complained about the cat, but if I leave her out of the room and shut the door, she makes this big yowling noise. So I can't do it without her, having the door open. And she likes to sit on my lap when I sit in this chair. So that's the excuse I have, I'm sorry. Okay, so, I'm always decoding Sherlock Holmes. So there was a Sherlock Holmes Faces Death, and it was a movie. So it was Basil Rathbone. And I'm just going to give you some quotes from it. I won't say who it is because I don't even remember and I didn't write it down. So, Lords of the Manor, ever since time was. So they were lords ever since time was. What I am, and I always see I am as I am, that's a big deal. And then this is like a Joseph Patrick confirmation for me. Maybe it's not for you, but for me it was. He said, Jeffrey Phillip. And, just hearing even, not even reading it, but hearing a J and a P together is Joseph Patrick. And then they said younger brother. They said brother. And then scattered the ashes everywhere. And the ashes, remember, Junior was, they were on a Navy, smallish kind of Navy ship. And they were having a good old time on the ship. I don't know if you remember that. So, and it was, back then, Catholics didn't do that. They didn't do that. Now they can do that. The Pope and all those guys say, yeah, you can scatter ashes and do the whole thing. But back then, in 99, you didn't do that. And they were like strict Catholics, so you just wouldn't have done that. Scattered Junior's ashes in the water like that. So, let's see, what else do we have here? Not the slightest warning. So we taught, when we redo these Sherlock Holmes things or anything like that, we bounce around between different ideas. We jump around between Junior, JFK, Joseph. It kind of like yo-yos back and forth all around every which way. So, anyway, not the slightest warning. He struck, I went down. An immediate um, doesn't relieve, with an R, relieve us of all responsibility. So struck down, doesn't relieve us of all responsibility, to me is JFK. And definitely at this point, from all the decoding, it was not them in the limo. I mean, at least at that moment that we saw the shot. They were there before that, but at that moment at least, they weren't there. So, yeah, we've had tons of confirmations on that. Let's see. So it doesn't relieve us of all responsibility means, yeah, we knew what we were doing and, we're responsible for what we did. But they wouldn't change it, I'm sure. And I've gotten that before. They wouldn't change a thing. And they do feel bad that it hurt us, but it had to be done. Let's see. Excuse me. There was gunfire, and there were 13 strikes on the clock, which is, shouldn't be 13 strikes on the clock in this movie. 13 equals I'm Christ. I am Mr. Kocha. Remember, I figured out how to say it. Koceeja, and it's Croatian. It's Kocha. Thank you to whoever told me that. And and also 13 spelled out also equals Ray anagram. And Mr. Kocha is Ray Edward Kocha. And that's all the time when you're doing these decodes in gematrix.org, you see his name in one way or another, usually in the top of the search results. And Ray Edward Kocha, like I said, it's Koceeja. When you do an anagram on that, and you put it in an anagram calculator, the only one that makes any sense at all is Jack ordered away. I'm sure you know that by now because I've said this so many times. So 13 equals Ray anagram. So like, in other words, anagram Ray Edward Kocha. Anyway, Jack ordered away. He was told not to be there at that moment. He was told, okay, get out of here. We've got a plan. We're going to do it. We're out of here. You guys are out of here. Sorry, I have a million papers here. Sorry. Let's see. I never had a child is in here. And Junior is really the brother, at least at this moment in time that I'm thinking. Last video and episode I was like waffling big time. Anyway, Junior was really JFK's brother because he came back. Okay, like I said, it's today. It's today. Could change our minds. So, and then within the realm, REALM, and from what I understand from all my decoding, we're in a realm, that literally a realm, and that hell is a realm. So that's pretty interesting, I think. The episode happened in a place called Musgrave Manor, Musgrave Manor. It equals 167, and that equals experiencing death, Phoenix rising, enjoy the show, and beam me up, Scotty. And I did a whole episode on Beam Me Up, Scotty before I knew any of these things existed on Gematrix. So I feel like I'm right in the game here. And that's like Revelation 11. And I think if you go back and look at Beam Me Up, Scotty, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's not what you think it is in Revelation 11. So that's why, so anyway, I never had a child makes sense. It's almost like a brother, they would be brothers, not his, Junior wouldn't be his child. let's see. Ghosts wouldn't stab people in the neck, would they? That's part of the storyline here. And then the other one says, not well-bred ghosts. And then Inspector Lestrade, I did write down who said this one. The man whose hand fits this here glove bears talking to. Okay, bears talking to, right? The man whose hand fits the glove. Well, who has always had one glove on? Well, Michael Jackson, right? Michael Jackson. I mean, there was also like a guy in jail that got out of jail that was a criminal. Yeah, O.J. Remember O.J. Simpson? If this glove won't fit, you must not commit. Remember all that rhyming? And that was fake too, anyway. He's not in jail now. He's out. So, could be a double meaning. Could be talking about O.J. But then we have another J, M.J., who always wear with the one glove. Let's see. And then the butler says, my stomach, stomach was bothering him. And I don't know if you remember, but JFK had a bad, it seemed like from what I read, he had a bad digestive problem, and that's why he was so thin. If you look at his young pictures, he's super, super thin. And from what I read, Harvard put an ice cream machine in for him so that he would keep eating more calories. So I think that's what it was referring to. Remarkable woman. Remember in the last episode I was talking about, President Trump and that decode? He was talking about woman all the time, and he would say from the beginning. Remarkable woman, or this woman was with me from the beginning, and he said that probably 4 times. So he's talking about more than one woman. I think he's talking about at least 3 women. So remarkable woman. And he said Mary Ann Carpenter, and that made me think of Christ Mary, or Mary Christ, MC. And he said, I've been to London. Watson says, I've been to London. I brought my friend back. That could be Junior or JFK. I was lying down resting, like as he's saying, I was lying in the cubby. Not I, but the fake Jackie and JFK down in the cubby under the seat. It could mean that. It could also mean that they were lying about what was going on, or people were lying after the fact about what was going on. Then we have, let's see. They're trying to prove Pat, that's a P, killed Jeff, another J. So a P and a J again. So we have that twice in a short amount of time. That's like Joseph Patrick. It's reversed, granted, but, think mirror, right? Let's see. I'm sorry, she says, and continues. I'm out of my mind. She said that twice. I'm out of my mind. I'm out of my mind. And that was because Jackie in the limo was not Jackie at that moment when this all happened. When the shot and all that happened, there was no mind in there. It was wax and robotic stuff and cords and all kinds of things happening. Then she says, please forgive me. So they would like to be forgiven, and of course we'll forgive them. So let's see what we have next here. Oh, I just saw this. I mentioned it in the last video, but I saw it right before I did that one. And I haven't gotten to it till now, but I listened to a Sherlock Holmes radio show, and it was called The 5th of November. And there's the whole rhyme about remember the 5th of November. And that's from in England. There was a guy named Guy Fawkes, and he tried to blow up Parliament, and he had all these charges down, gunpowder way down on the bottom floor. But the thing is, Sherlock said in this episode that King James was evil, basically, and so he's saying that there was an evil king. In other words, there are people in high places that can be evil. And I don't know if you guys have thought about it that way if you're new to these shows, but not everybody who's in high positions are good people, you know? So keep that in mind, keep that in the back of your mind. And he said that Sherlock was explaining to Watson in the beginning, like I said, that there was an evil king, and they knew about this gunpowder plot way before it was going to happen. So it was stopped before the king was in danger, anybody was in danger. And anyway, they hung all the people in the plot. One of them was Guy Fawkes, but there were, I don't know if there's 3 or 4 others that were hung at the same time. So they still celebrate Guy Fawkes Day. And they have bonfires and things like that. And I don't know if you know where the origin of bonfires comes from, but it means bone fires. So that's kind of interesting. So they have bonfires and they burn effigies of Guy Fawkes because they're not happy with what he tried to do, you know. So they get, like, I guess it's like life-size effigies because they use old clothes from people, and they probably fill them with leaves or straw because it's in the fall, and they throw them in the bonfires. So that's what Guy Fawkes Day means. So he's explaining what that all means and how evil King James was. So this is in the plot of this show, the 5th of November with Sherlock Holmes. We were to go around the bonfires tonight and frighten people by appearing as live dummies. Okay? What does that sound like? Live dummies. Appearing as live dummies. The 2 wax and robotic figures I just mentioned in the limo, right? Then at 22:35 for POTUS 35, JFK, but the last message he sent, we got messaging through this whole thing, told me to come up here and we'd play a practical joke on a couple of friends. And then later on, come on, Watson, he's faking, okay? And then he got away from me in the crowd. We'll never find him in this mob. So they got away in a cab, is what it sounds like to me from all the things I've been working on. It was a cab, maybe it was military driving it, but it sounds like a cab. Have you seen him? And then at 24:07 says, no, Governor. I'm thinking the Texas governor, maybe he wasn't even real in the front of the limo. I don't know. Because he and his wife were supposed to be down in the lower part in the front seat. Not the front, because the driver was there, but the second seat was where the Texas governor, Connolly, and his wife were supposed to be sitting. I've never really looked at it to see if they look real. But I think if you look at the Zapruder film, you'll see that JFK looks pale and his eyes aren't acting right. Like maybe they're not blinking, I can't remember, but there's something up with the eyes and doesn't look right in the skin color. And the Zapruder film was a white hat thing, but you know, and I have a whole episode on the Zapruder film, so if you want to check into that, go ahead. So, let's see, he got away from me, no governor, and then at 24:35, like I always check timestamps at certain numbers. Look on the roof, there's a figure, he's going to jump, and then Sherlock says, that wasn't a man who fell, it was a dummy. We're going back to that again. I mean, it's all right in front of us. Sorry, put the camera. And at 26:17 for our, 17th letter, he says, can't say that I'm sorry. And then at 26:35, another 35, please tour, but he did the whole rhyme that the kids would say when they're running around with the bonfires and everything, and I think they probably still say it. Please to remember the 5th of November. I see no reason why gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. Treason is in there. Shouldn't be forgot. So that's that. The 5th of November, Sherlock Holmes Radio. So I have so many things to talk about. It's so hard to know what to talk about next. Let's see. I looked at a post from our favorite Anon, and it's post 4708. And it was 11/14/20. And the whole post says, "Who is financing?" And the second line says, "Follow the pen." Okay, follow the pen. Pen is 35. Then I looked at Q-Post, I said it, 3016, and it was on 3/9/19. He said, follow, it's not the whole post, follow the maps. And that was capitalized. Maps was capitalized. Maps is 49. Then there was another, so what I was doing was I remembered certain things. I was looking at certain things that reminded me of these phrases. Follow the maps, follow the pen. And so I looked them up and I found each, how many posts had these phrases in it, which you can do on favorite Anon letter, 17th letter, 17th letter, then POSTS.online, and that's the site. So it's 17th letter posts.online. That's the one that I use, because my favorite one stopped doing this, so I use that one. That's my second best. And then there was another post, 168, and it was 11/20/17. So that was way back. And the whole one, this is the whole post. It's abbreviated. Red, OCT for October, and then SIG. There was no period. It just said SIG, wasn't capitalized. Has not occurred yet. Follow the map. And then signed our favorite Anon, just like the other ones. Let's see. So SIG equals 35 for POTUS 35 when you do Gematrix on it, gematrix.org. And MAP is 30, which matches Joe for Joseph Patrick Kennedy Jr. So 30 matches Joe. So let's see. So I did SIG, and like I said, it's 35. It equals bro, slang for brother, BRO. It equals cadence, the way somebody speaks, the rhythm. And that definitely makes me think of Junior, and definitely makes me think of JFK. I don't know how Joseph Patrick talked, because I've never heard him on any recording. Headache. Okay, what happened in the limo? Okay, headache. In December. Well, it doesn't say December, it says DEC. In DEC. Something's going to happen then. Then pen, like follow the pen, is 35. That equals magma, like from a fake volcano. G-man, government, G-man. RQ, I lie. He died. Feel bad. Call a cab. Does that sound like what we've been talking about? I feel bad. Call a cab. It also matches DJ, JK all together. So that's Donald John and John Kennedy. DJ, JK. So then I decided, okay, do Joseph, which I have like pages on Joseph, but Joseph equals 73, which equals gold pen. follow the pen. Okay, so if you think about it, follow the pen, it's like we're following the gold pen, and that's Joseph. Think about it that way. 73 equals CBK is Diana. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, is CBK News not Carolyn Bessette Kennedy? Is it maybe Diana? I don't know. So then I tried the whole name of that telegram. CBK News is the whole name. It equals 77, which is Christ, sacrificed, the big lie, and wake up. They're all 77. So, I said in my last episode, I think there's 3 women sides of God. It's not just the 3 male guys, it's the 3 women. It's Carolyn, Jackie, and Melania, as far as I can tell. I mean, obviously I could be wrong. I can be wrong on all this stuff. It's all theory, right? So I did follow. What I decided to do was break it down. Follow the map. And the other one was follow the maps. Those 2 posts. So I broke down each word. And follows 83, and that's my name. Catherine. Jonathan. It's James Bond. Remember I was talking about Sean Connery is one of the Bidens? That's an old episode. Black Sun, which it's not, once I realized that matched my name, it makes sense that I've been so into understanding the Black Sun theory, because it matches my name. That's why I'm supposed to be looking into it. Let's see, 83 is also the Donald. 83 equals movies and red alert. So it also matches the snake, which you probably think is weird, but do you remember that President Trump would read a poem called The Snake? In it, you can look it up online. Yeah, I'm sure there's videos where he's reading it. I saw him do it at a New Hampshire rally. The February 2021 rally, where I saw these different people that are not dead. We saw them. And behind him, just like in the CLOUSEAU videos. It became a CLOUSEAU video, that rally that I went to. So you should look it up. And it'll say like Marty Feldman in the title, I think, because we saw Marty Feldman there. He's not gone. That's a whole other story I won't get into, but so he read the snake during that rally, but that equals 83 as well. Then of course the next word, if you're doing follow the map, is the, and that's 33. It equals Dawn, Diane, Magic, and MGM for, movie. It's all a movie studio. Now the next word is map, and that's 30. It equals Joe, like I said. Baby, Joe became a baby, at least I'm saying that today. Bible, and JJJ, and that sounds like Joe and John Jr. Then I did maps for the other post, and that's 49. It equals Mr. R, Lord, Decode ID, born. 49 is also alive. 49 is I am God. I think I had that in my last decode. End game, green, and Igor. And we, like I said, we saw Marty Feldman at that February 2021 rally, and it's in a CLOUSEAU video. Igor, not Igor, Igor, with an I, Igor. So then I did pen. So because I already did follow the, and one of the posts was follow the pen. So pen is 35, and it equals, it's the same as the SIG. decode I did just a couple of seconds ago, SIG. But pen is 35, and bro, for brother, like I said. Cadence, headache, RQ. He died, I lie, that's a new one. I lie, feel bad, call a cab. And then Isaac, remember Isaac Cappy? Yeah, Isaac Cappy was played by him too. And you remember, like I've been telling you before, Joseph Patrick was in, he flew, he was a bomber pilot in World War II, and he's got photos online. You can see him in a bomber jacket with a furry, fuzzy white collar, and it's leather. But Isaac Cappy, when he was doing his shows before he supposedly was gone, he would wear a bomber jacket in every single video, every single one. Let's see, what else do we have? So I was thinking, follow the map. When you think about that one, follow is Jonathan, the is Don. I mean, there's lots of things, but you can do it like this way. And map is Joe. So it's Jonathan, Don, and Joe. It's the three of them. Oh. Anyway, sorry. So follow the pen, when you do the whole thing out, is 151. And that equals one of his President Trump's phrases he says all the time, it's drain the swamp, or at least he used to. And it equals figure it out. And 151 is also look right here. It equals you found him. Jesus Christ, that's another one. The incarnation. Jesus died an idol. That's true. Justice is here is another 151. So follow the map. When you do the whole thing is 146. And it equals let's go Brandon. And like I said before, it's not a coincidence that let's go Brandon became like a chant. You know, it was all set up. It was all set up. It just was. You know, it wasn't a chance that sports announcer said, oh yeah, and oh yeah, they're chanting let's go Brandon when they were really saying F Joe Biden. I mean, that was not a coincidence. Let's go Brandon matches follow the map. It matches Sleepy Joe Biden that he said all the time. And it equals New Jerusalem, which is where we are. We're New Jerusalem. We act as one mind. And I don't think it's just them. I think it's all of us. All our minds are working together. And we're really like all one mind. You know, I really do think that's what's happening. Final masquerade. That's what's happening. 1818. You know, twice. That sounds like 2 R's to me. I don't know what you think about that, but it's interesting. I've been wondering about that. Are there 2 R's and 1 Q? I said it. 17th letter. Reborn Messiah. So I go back to, this episode I'm going, he was reborn into Junior. Yeah. So give me some comments, you guys. I need some comments. Give me your thoughts. So follow the maps is 165. That equals 22. Remember 11, 22, 63? It equals we found Christ. And it equals resurrection. It equals Vincent Kennedy. He was on Twitter. He's on Telegram too. Last trumpet. It equals the Pink Panther. That's like the CLOUSEAU videos, because that's what they were from the Pink Panther. CLOUSEAU was the character in the Pink Panther movies. And remember, Steve Martin, I think, is a Biden. And I'm not saying he's passed away, because he's not. But he's playing a Biden, at least at some point in time. And so that's another reason the Pink Panther comes up. And also connect the dots is 165, which equals, follow the maps. Yellowstone is 165, and you know what I think about that. False things. let's see. So connect the dots was one of our matches to the last one I just worked out. But also connect the dots was a 17th letter post a ways back. And it was post 3366, which is interesting because that equals 666. And 7/8/19 was the date. And it said there was some other lines in there, but at the end it said connect the dots. And that's 165. So I thought that was pretty interesting that they both matched each other, and it went back to another post. And on the same date, 7/8/19, there was another one. It was 3362. It also said connect the dots. And then on another date, 3/11/19, and 3/11 is an important date for the bad guys. They like to use that date to do FFs. Or 11/3. You know how things can be mirrored and reversed. So 3/11/11/3, which was actually the date of the big E last November. So it was 3/11/19, connect the dots. That was a third one. All said the same thing, which I already did 165, so I won't do all that again, but yeah. And 3366 also, when you add that up a different way, you can also add it up to 18, and that's R. So, I don't know. Make comments, you guys. So in this little packet of papers here, I was saying that, we saw Marty Feldman in a February 2021 Manchester, New Hampshire Trump rally. Or maybe, he called it a Trump rally then, because now they call it Save America rallies. So the morning I was writing all this down, I wake up and I write stuff down. I don't know if you guys do that, but you should, because it's usually something important. So I was thinking about the plot from Young Frankenstein, not Frankenstein, but Young Frankenstein with Gene Wilder. I bet we'll see him again too. So Dr. Frankenstein, and now of course in Young Frankenstein they called him Frankenstein. He always said, his name's Frankenstein. It's not Frankenstein. And he was always trying to disassociate himself from his grandfather, It's a funny movie if you haven't seen it. So, yeah, it's a Mel Brooks movie, and that should say it all. Mel Brooks does great movies. So funny. Let's see. Oh, yeah, and I already brought up, Igor, so Marty Feldman, who was obvious, it was him behind President Trump. He was like, if you're watching the video, he's on the CLOUSEAU video, he's on the right, and he's maybe he's near his elbow, President Trump's elbow, and he does this little wave like, yeah, it's me, it's really cute. And there was other big time people there, and I won't get into it because I'll never get through this, but anyway, so he called himself Igor, and that's kind of gross. You think of goring an eye? Ew. Remember President Trump had that way back when he was running? Some Christians, or maybe it was just reporters, or maybe it was a Christian group, asked him what's his favorite Bible quote, and he said, "An eye for an eye." Anyway, let's see. Yeah, and they had to get hands. He was sent to this lab that had brains in jars, in Young Frankenstein, and he was supposed to get the from a famous like a genius, Marty Feldman, Igor was supposed to go get this famous brain, and the guy's name was Hans Delbruck. That'd be a good decode too. And and anyway, so he dropped the brain and everything broke on the floor, and he just was like, well, I'll get the next one. So he got the next one, and it was abnormal. and he told Gene Wilder in the movie, who is Dr. Frankenstein, he said, "Oh, because the monster, when he reanimated him with the new brain, the Frankenstein monster, he was crazy and scary and everything, and he wasn't acting like he had the genius brain." And he says, "Tell me where you got this brain." And he says, "Well, its name was Abby Normal, you know." It wasn't Hans Delbruck. It was Abby Normal, and it was Abby abnormal. And I was wondering, is that going back to like talking about blood type, you know, way back talking about the bloodline stuff that we've talked about before, like abnormal blood, like AB blood. So I don't know. Are they saying it's AB negative is not normal and that's not right? Is that like the fault? I wonder if that's from the false prophet, because there's a false prophet we've been waiting for. You know, somebody talk about stuff that's not true. That's just something that's been rolling around in my head. Anyway, yeah, so Abby Normal, yeah. So I decided to do Abby Normal. Out of all the stuff I could have done for this, I did Abby Normal. So ABBY, because he said it like a girl's name, Abby, and Abby Normal is 103, and that equals Jack Kennedy. I had no idea. I had no idea. And it equals God is alive, God's a human, equals twin flame, so the twin again, main event, and coincidences. And our favorite Anon says there are no coincidences. And I'll bet back to what I was just saying about the false prophet. 103 also equals false teacher. So keep that in mind. So green eyes is 103. And Joseph Patrick has, I should say, green eyes. And John F. Kennedy, green eyes. So I think that might be it on that one. Yeah, got that one done. For powering through this stuff, guys. I don't know when I started. I think I better stop. I got a feeling this has been going on too long. I still have all this stuff. But nobody watches after about midway through, so like what's the point of going on about this stuff if nobody's watching? I mean, some of you do. I'm not, I know some of you do, but most people don't. So what's the point? So anyway, love you guys, and thank you so much for listening, and thank you for donating if you do donate. And I appreciate all you guys making your comments and sharing. Sharing gets the word around, and it's just awesome. You guys are the best audience in the world, and the best friends. I shouldn't say audience. You're the best friends, because I feel like I know a lot of you by now. So thank you, and have a good night or morning or whatever it is you're doing. Having a cocktail or coffee. Bye-bye.